Welcome to Phantom Revenge. Later this afternoon, Kong's Cards is going to have everything that you are going to want from this Phantom Revenge set. And this actually is going to be cheap deck cores. Now, with rarities being as nicely shifted around as they are, you're probably going to be able to get some of these decks a little bit more expensive and a little bit cheaper than others, but discount code MCO40 will help you save on your purchase. Now, let's pass on over to what's going on with this set. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more on us. This set is interesting for the design space and things that they tried to pull out here, because there's a lot of okay solid reprints that we actually had for this set, which I think is good. All right, reprints are Konami's kind of got some of them locked up, and we do get to see some of them a little bit over time here, getting a little bit cheaper. Now, the first card you're going to see here is the Deforo Eniacraft Alzanea, and honestly, I'm kind of happy to know that a lot of this Eniacraft stuff is looking to be very, very, very small in terms of rarity. You know, I'm not going to have to fight tooth and nail if I want to play the Flip Effect deck. It's also kind of crazy because Eniacraft was one of the decks that performed very, very well in the OCG in the very early stages for this set, and it still kind of pops its head up. Now, Synchro Overtake here, obviously this kind of is a mandatory card, specifically revealing and getting to choose a tuner monster mentioned on the card. Very, very, very strong for what it is. Sol and Luna getting a reprint is not that surprising. You got a Flip Effect deck in here, all right? Sol and Luna, even though we have plenty of what I would say reprints available to this from Rarity Collection, they wanted to toss it in here because they want you to be able to build this deck out of the pack. Crystal Wing in here. And then Yesti Stone Sweeper. Yes! This card needed a reprint very, very badly, honestly. Looking at a lot of the upcoming archetypes, yeah, this card was going to be a problem. Now it's a rare, so now we're affordable, which is good. And then also Destructive Daruma Cannon, which, once again, they want you to be able to build this deck out of the pack, which is a very Konami thing to do. I understand it just got a reprint, but I'm happy to see the rare. Next up, Orgia. Oh my gosh, Eniacraft getting a couple of super rare treatments, I think is fine, especially as long as all of the little guys are going to line up across the board on the same rarity. This is perfectly fine. If you want to play the deck in rares, sure. If I can play the deck in supers, sure. Gygus. So Gygus is going to be one of the cards that I hope that you are going to be very, very familiar with here in the future, because a couple of these cards are very unique in the way that they work. Gygus is one of the ones that says, obviously, hi, I'm an illusion monster, but if a card or cards is added to your opponent's hand except during the draw phase, you can special summon it from your hand, and then during your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. If you do, special summon an excavated monster from there to your field. The only thing that this card has ever grabbed me in my life is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and a couple of other really off-the-wall things, but I do think that Gygus and the rest of these monsters kind of acting in, like, good, interesting luck is going to be pretty relevant. We also do have the Eye of Illusion reprint. If you did not expect Eye of Illusion to get the reprint, what were you thinking, man? Same thing with the Stone Sweeper. These cards are important pieces that these decks were needing. I mean, look at what Konami's setting up. And we also got Eniacraft Reverse. Get it? Reverse. Haha. This card is actually insane. Gives you the ability to draw like 4 cards. And then, you can also banish it, change an Eniacraft monster face up during the opponent's turn, which is pretty strong. Also, LOL, ha ha ha, he, change a heart reprint, which probably needed it as a rare at this point, honestly. I'm actually kind of happy with that, because Hack of Hands needs the opponent's monsters to do stuff. So, this is interesting. So, Spirit of the Wind, or Spirit of the Fall Wind is in here. Not really too crazy about that. But you're also going to notice the Arcane Apprentice is in here. And I've already read comments from people going, wow, Konami reprinted Arcane Apprentice with a dog shit card included in the set. Okay, well, first of all, if you didn't know this or not, but Arcane Apprentice was a $6 rare up until, like, this reprint. And I'm actually very, very happy to have this card in here, because if you're a casual player wanting to build these decks, that's some stupid bullshit having to deal with a price point for that. So the reason why Arcane Apprentice is in here, the card was too damn expensive, and they needed to get the reprint down here so that it can actually do its thing, which is really, really cool. Now, Crackdown also made its way in here. They're viewing Enneacraft as an old style stun deck. You know, you're going to jack your opponent's monster. What can they actually do? Now, Loudness War. This card's bonkers, man. Oh, what is it? Monsters, or your other tuners control can't be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. Opponent activates card effect and banish a cool tune from your graveyard to apply that monster's activated effect, which is crazy to me. And then Remix is also going to be another one of the strong ones. Gains 1500 attack when your opponent has a tuner in their graveyard. Remember, hand traps, Ash Blossom, and things are tuners. And during your opponent's turn quick effect, you contribute this to choose 2 non-synchro monsters, non-synchro tuners in your graveyard. Add 1 to your hand, special to the other, and then after it resolves, you can do a synchro summon, which the power word there is you can. You do not have to waste the resources at that time if you do not want to. That is actually kind of a relevant thing to think about. Now, this is going to be the Enneacraft image, but to my knowledge right now, it looks like Enneacraft got a single ultra rare, which is wonderful, honestly. I mean, a Torimar is everything that you need. I mean, it being able to basically, you know, it responds on your turn to protect your stuff, but also it gets to do the ha-ha funny of when it goes up during the opponent's turn. It's going to lock down your opponent's stuff, which is kind of crazy. Nobody really thinks about the actual flip effect on this. It changes all monsters your opponent controls face down, and they cannot change their battle positions. I don't think you understand just how broken it is right now, especially in a slower field here, where you punish your opponent not being able to progress the game plan. It's so good. Book of Tayo also made its way in here as a rare reprint. I mean, once again, flip deck. You want to be able to access these cards. Made sense. Enneacraft release. By far, probably one of the best cards. You got immediate placement of a pendulum monster with Enneacraft into your pendulum zone, and then it banish it from the graveyard to add a face up from extra deck to hand, which is pretty good. Tragody also got a much needed reprint. Snatch Steel got a reprint, and then hey, look, it couldn't be Yadel. Yeah, so Yadel is one of the 2 starters that work in kind of interesting ways. They basically have to shovel back to go pull you one of the key cards that you need. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very fairy-like, but they're not. They represent like light and dark, good and evil, at least for the way that they feel. So definitely an interesting takeaway for those cards. And then, here's all the good stuff. So Killer Tune, or Cool Tune RS, is in fact an ultra rare. Of course, the targeting banish, or excuse me, the targeting negate or whatever it is pretty strong. Jaza, the big guy, available in both Starlight and as an ultra rare. I mean, it's the Searcher, man. Not restricted to a once per turn. Like, it is such a strong card, and it makes sense for Konami to lopside it in as an ultra. The Hidden Heck of Hands, God, I don't know if I like that name. They could have just named it the Heck of Hands. The drop search for 2 is, well, unfortunately an ultra rare as well, which is pretty crazy. Cool Tune. Q, unfortunately, got bonked with the Ultra Stick. And Mix. Actually, Mix, the way the European collector's rares look, this card looks gorgeous, especially with like the green in the hair reflecting off of the borders. It's just such a sick looking card. I believe at this point in time, Feracious has won Eniacraft 4 Hecahand Ultras, 5 Cool Tune rarities. Anybody else feel very reminiscent of that from another deck build set way back in the day? Also, remember, we don't have Wave 2 yet for this, so when we do get that, I think things can get a little bit more out of hand. Yeah. Once again, Kongs will have pre-sales up. Discount code MK40 will save you on your purchase over there later today. Now, I'm out of here. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.